Thank you. Thank you very much. Quite proud to have you all as first artists of mine. In Galway, so I'm very thrilled to have you. I guess I'll just start off with a few questions and we can open it up to the audience. If you have any, please feel to raise your hand and project. You don't have any mics. So let's start with Annetta. From watching your piece, myself being a trad dancer, I saw that come through, and then I was just curious about the title. You call it opacity? Is a word I learned. So opposite of transparent. So does that have something to do with the process or what you're going from genre to genre?
Right. Yeah, it is about two genres. Obviously, for me, the starting point of this version of the solo, I have to point out that this is the third version. The first one started during my MA studies in Limerick, and then the second one was made during my residency in Dance Ireland, and then this version, I kind of merged the two of them together. The name was chosen during my master's, and I'm not very good with naming things, so this just was chosen. And it's also about there are two characters, and it's about the two of them merging together into one. I don't know if that answers the question. It's a work in progress.
Great, I'll just move on to Bernie. Nice to pick. Bernie is our dance artist in resident for Galway County for 2023-24, and she is now for 24 and 25. And we also have, just to mention how great Galway is. We don't have just Bernadette. We also have Magda Heilich for Galway City and Linda Zimmer. Linda.
My name?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Linda Schimmer. Oh my gosh, Schimmer for Interface Inna and Galway County as well. So Galway has 3 dance artists in residence for 2024 and 25. So there'll be a lot more dance for you to come and see. And Bernadette, for your 2 years now, you've been working out on this year. So I have some sense that that's where your relationship with Stan came from. If you'd like to say anything about how that developed and came from out there, and maybe like give more.
So the first thing is that I'm serious Gaelta, and that was my motivation for going. But I thought that if I got in touch with the land, that it might actually help me come into relationship with working through some of the trauma of a language that was beaten out of us, but actually a language that became unsafe. Even my family's parents didn't speak to their children in order to sort of support them learn English. And it's so beautiful to see Galway become a city that's bilingual, but I thought, okay, now I've really got to find my way home. So are people struggling to hear me? Yeah. Okay, all right. I have quite voice, sorry about that. So basically, the sound is like, because it's so present there, like the language, but also it's about decomposition, and also it's about me understanding climate change a bit more. So engaging with the sound is like, we just have to do it. So the pieces I showed are kind of, it's an ongoing process. For myself, I've made a commitment for 10 years to let myself see what unfolds. And I'm very grateful, I have to say, to the Arts Council and to Galway Dance and to RSA and different places that have supported me. You know your supports, you're here. Okay.
And now Lydia. All the way from Nova Scotia. You've been here for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So I hope you're enjoying Galway.
Yes.
And then your piece, when I saw it in rehearsals, to me it was almost something playful, but then I also felt very alone. So I didn't know if you wanted to describe, because I know your work sometimes has, I don't like the word theme, but you have something tying your work together.
Yes, yeah. So the demon-y voice that you hear is actually a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. It's called Alone, and it was published after he died, and it was like discovered, and I think his family published it. Whether you want that or not, we don't know. But so this undiscovered poem, and it's sad, it's lonely, it's kind of scary, and then I tweak music a lot, so I went into Demon Town with the voice. And this piece kind of happened before another piece of work that I made, and I like to play with the idea of fairy tales, cautionary tales, nursery rhymes, and because they're all very scary, they're like quite scary. So that was integrated into this piece, and so this piece is called Extremophile, and technically, biologically, extremophiles are organisms that flourish under like extreme environments, and they take their enzymes that are called extremozymes, and they use these enzymes, and it helps them just like procure their own really like well-defined environment. So, and I have a fascination with really long fingers. I don't know why, and I don't know why. It's just there. So I kind of use these finger-type fingerlings to be my extremozymes, and they help develop my world. And yeah, I don't know. That's just a kind of like a layer cake of ideas. Trying to marry some ideas together there.
Can I open it up to you all, lovely people? If anyone has a question, comment, don't be shy.
Hey Bernadette, nice to see you. I won't try this in Irish, sorry.
We're in the same round of Gaelga.
Yeah, you should go down. You were moving backwards for the majority of the piece. Was that a choice?
It's a choice that I work a lot with the back, but how I was moving tonight is different than how I was moving all day. So really, I work with improvisation. I work with the moment, with what's in the field. But yeah, going backwards in order to go forward is something I do. And I think especially at this stage of my life, it's kind of like, you kind of go back to kind of continue to finish, decompose for the final composition of death, so I'm working with sort of going back to let go. So thank you, good question.
Ethan, agus Annette, especially Jasmine, I was wondering if this is kind of autobiographical.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well done. It wasn't a choice in the beginning, but it wasn't a conscious choice I
Right.
made. But I do believe that if you're doing a solo, whatever you're trying to do with it, it's still
It will
gonna be partially about you. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Anyone else?
Can I ask, just firstly, well done, everyone. It's so nice to just enter into 3 completely different worlds in such a short space of time. So thank you. I wanted to ask about Lydia with your lighting and just like the surprise shoot, which was amazing. Was that something you worked on before you came here, or? Is it
Yes,
like
yeah. So this solo, I made in 2021, and it's kind of evolved a little bit. But the red feathers came from, this is kind of scary. I had a dream once where I was like crying red, like not like blood, but like just red tears, and so that happened as a result. But psych helped me, like, so usually you need like a crossover to have someone like shoot the feathers off quietly, like a little cat. And psych managed to build this, you can't even, because it's blending in with the ceiling right now, this sneaky, like, black. Can you see it? Oh no. A little bit, yeah. It's rattling, yeah. And she ingeniously crafted this fun little shoot for me. I didn't know if it was going to happen or not, but yeah. So, I don't know if that answered your question at all.
Yeah, that's great.
Either, sorry.
Give it one more opportunity. No? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. Thank you. It was just beautiful and two very different pieces and really enjoyable. And I'm not, this isn't my area of expertise, but I just wanted to ask Bernie, the visuals were really beautiful. Have you worked with that before? Because the dance responding to the visuals and then the basket and was that hard to bring together?
I think it's just the process I'm in Nasir. Like it's an island, so you can't get an audience, big audience to come to an island. So I'm working with somebody, a wonderful photographer, videographer called McCoyne on the island, and that's a very good collaboration and ongoing collaboration. So it's like I'm tweaking it because it's a complex one. It's not simple. So that is a work. It really is a work in progress, and I'm hoping to take this into a gallery space now. So it's like, and really, when I was doing this piece, instead of a basket, I really wanted bodies. So I wanted a lot more bodies being particles of sand. So ideally, there would have been a lot more sound of bodies moving. You have to keep dreaming, but just, that kind of grit and connection and touch, and also like how sand is moved, because I'm learning a lot in the environment in Nasir, but then it makes me curious about other places, other languages, other experiences of sand, and I can't help but think at this moment in time about sand as I can dance up, because we're all really witnessing it was very present with me when I was putting the video together. Just a choice of different things, like working with kind of sand painting. Yeah. The other thing is, when you work in a small place, in a small community, I'm in a community that I'm really grateful to be in because so many artists come there, but it's also a community with the Irish language. And the biggest piece there was kind of like the poem at the very beginning is the same poem, but it's translated and it changes in the translation. And also I have a dancer with me, Siobhan, who's she's a native speaker. So then, we've been working together and just sort of like layering in relationship and how to bring that into places that it can be shared with more.
Just to echo the gratitude from the audience, for me the pieces all felt virtuosic in their own way, in very different ways, which was just a treat and delight from our perspective, if I may say so. And we kind of have a sense of maybe what's next for you, Bernie. That was kind of my question. Maybe if you guys had the choice to do anything with it now, what might that be? I'm just really curious. If I understand correctly, they're all sort of works in development or they're kind of emerging. But I'd love to know.
Yeah, I'd like to work more on bringing more percussive dance elements and more footwork, and I would love to work with the dramaturg so much. I would love that. Because now I'm at a place where this is what I can pretty much do on my own, and I need people. Because this is, my education is I can create a piece, I can put this together, make it suit my body. But then also another thing is like, what if I gave it to someone else? Like, what would happen if someone who is maybe more technical and more, flexible and whatever, if someone took that, what would happen with that? That's in the
Become watch this space.
so this piece, it tumbled into another piece that I made. It premiered in December called The Devil's Intervals. I sound satanic. I'm sorry, I'm not like. And oh yeah, and there were 13 dancers. Yes, that adds to that. But so that piece is 55 minutes long, and it's supported by Canada Council for the Arts in Nova Scotia. And I really want to tour it, and that's just the money. Yeah. So for me right now, it's about like exposure and trying to just let things evolve. I keep using long claw things, and in this piece that I just did, I had some of my dancers had spikes on their backs and their shoulders, and spikes on the arches of their feet. So I think I'm trying to play with this like kind of grotesque body art and adding that to my dance work. And so I think, yeah, trying to find collaborators in that sense as well, like visual artists, video, yeah. So just exposure.
Well, that's kind of a nice little tie-in there, because at Galway Dance we want to really put the dancer first and, support, Galway dancers and Northwest, but then through our Shield Cup program, bring in others. So this conversation and sharing of knowledge is really what we're here for. So it's just wonderful to see the three of you at different stages in the pieces and your careers, and it's that's what momentum really is. So there will be another one in November, so I hope you're all free. Sign up to our newsletter if you haven't, and thank you so much for coming. To cite our technical wizard of sound and light and feathers. Our stage manager and